What's happening?
Sauce Twins.
We back. Too tall.
Too short.
Who do we have here?
Young Haley.
Young Haley in the building today. What's happening?
Hey, I'm Haley. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. How y'all been living, though? How y'all been
Good.
doing? I know y'all been on that ATA. What?
Athletes train athletes, man.
Oh, y'all not on it? All right.
All right. I got your email already.
Don't worry
Gotta
about
get
it.
the free trial.
Yeah, we're going to put you on there.
You the first to be last.
Hey, but for real, though, look. This is kind of something that we've been talking about at the facility because we always feel like there's a little bit of a, I don't know if people are misinformed or just a disconnect in training and girls sports compared to guys. And we always compare, like, you know, why do we treat the girls like this and the boys like this? Or we expect this from the guys and the girls. We expect this from the girls, but kind of want to get, Haley has some pretty good insight. Of course, she's a girl.
Surprise again.
Okay. And just, she has some good thoughts and some opinions and things on why girls sports are the way they are and just the whole culture around girls athletics and strength training and all of that stuff. So
I feel like, my bad. I feel like with the girls, they just can't be who they want to be out there.
they're not allowed to, or
They're not allowed to. I feel like not allowed to be fancy and talk trash and show that.
It's more like sportsmanship. For
Yeah,
girls.
and
They
show
try to
that
make it seem like
show that other side of emotion when it comes to competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
that dog.
Yes. Now I feel like, you know, with girls and guys, the biggest difference is the emotion factor. Girls are a little bit more emotional.
I'm not sure if it's the emotion factor or if it's just a social factor. Like, I feel like guys either recover faster or something. They don't get bothered by as much stuff. I think that's just the way they work socially. I'm not positive whether that's emotions or not, but girls do have like a fear of, like, if I'm beating this girl and then I see her in class later or I'm in the locker room. Not all girls do. I mean, that's a maturity thing that you have to go through as an athlete, but it happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like you get pressure from your coach to really work within a system as a girl because, yeah, like I've had basketball athletes before that were super special. They get stuck inside a system. They can't score. They can't get numbers to get put out for college.
She coached basketball as well, like high school or just
select. Yeah, well, yeah, high school as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I've seen it happen to girls where they get told, you know, don't dribble behind your back, don't dribble between your legs, don't do it fancy, just lay the ball up, don't pass like this or that.
Wow.
And they also get stuck with rules that the coach has for the system, like this is how we run our offense, this is how we run our defense. They can't shine, they can't get recruited that way. It happens a lot, actually.
It
So
happens
they get
in
boxed in.
It happens in guys sports too, but not
Yeah.
to the same extent as it is for the girls. Because guys get caught up in the systems.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Guys get caught up in systems too.
Yeah, but
not like
I don't feel like that, you know. Like, I feel like with a guy, especially if you have that one special athlete on a team and everybody else is just mediocre. All right. I've seen a lot of times that team with that guy on there, get the ball to him.
Yeah.
Get the ball to him and let him do his thing.
So you saying there's a little bit more? I mean, I agree. There's a little bit more freestyle and I guess freelance in the guys, but it's the same. I mean, I think guys get caught up in the system.
Yeah,
I agree.
we see it all the time.
But the whole thing with the girls, like not allowing. Now this could also be a culture inside of a culture, because talking to one of my clients, I was talking to Shayna. She was like, you know, this could also be suburbia of Austin. That mindset, you know, she come from. Is she from LA?
Oakland.
She from Oakland.
Yeah.
So the mindset in Oakland with the girls' athletics, she was saying, is way more,
different.
you know what I'm saying, way different
Yeah.
than she sees out here. So it's a culture inside of a culture as well.
It could be good old boy Texas culture.
That's true, too.
It could be that too. But I think if you go to Oak Cliff,
They're gonna be a little bit more.
Yeah, you know, I think if you go to places in Houston, you know, places in Dallas, you know,
Yeah.
I think that the style of play and the culture is a little different because even for us, for me, when I was going to Snook, like I grew up in that small town, Snook, Caldwell, Tunis area, so like the girls' athletics, you know, the years of my sister was in school, they were really good. They went to state like 2 or 3 times, something like that, to the state tournament 2 or 3 times in a row. And there were some girls on that squad that was some dogs.
Yeah.
And they let them go. But that's that old country, you got that country little town mentality. Them girls were straight up dogs. Between the legs, behind the back, the whole 9.
Yeah.
So I think it can be a culture within a culture, but my question is, where we are, how do we continue to try to educate the parents? Because it starts with the parents. Believe it or not, it's not the kids. It starts with the parents. How do we continue to educate the parents and get this message across that not only in the culture of girls' sports when we talk about the dog, but also like just strength training. Like I feel like in girls' sports, it'll be skill over the foundation of their sport, which is strength.
Yeah.
But they don't want to get bulky.
I don't understand, like, what is 2019? What do we need to do? And, like, what do you see? Like, why do we see so less girl athletes come to us to get stronger? Like, it does. I don't.
Yeah, you
that
know.
should be the main thing that comes.
Right.
Yeah, as bad as ACL tear rates are for females, you know, there's probably some misconceptions about what causes that too, but girls being stronger would change that. We've known for years, the ACL tear rates haven't changed, even though we have all this new information, supposedly, and all this different kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't change.
So it's like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like just the same amount of girls should be coming here like, hey, my daughter she needs to get stronger. Like,
that's the numero uno. Just
Right.
think about how much better that athlete is going to be compared to the other girls that don't lift, don't do any kind of strength training. Just that strength training alone, I feel like is going to separate them from the rest of the pack.
I do too, and I don't know. I mean, maybe you could elaborate on some of the girls that you've had and the strength training that you've done, how it's helped with their confidence. I mean, it helps.
It does, because you have to get under the bar and do something you're not really sure whether you can do. And then when you do it over time, you keep trying something you're not sure if you can do, and you do it. Trying something you're not sure if you can do, and you do it.
Yeah.
Then that builds a different kind of confidence that you can take out to the field or the court or wherever that is.
And that's interesting too, because you think about the guys, I think you start them at a younger age on weightlifting, they develop that habit time and time again, getting underneath the bar for squat or bench or overhead press, or having to pick up that deadlift or push that sled with all this weight, constantly building up that I can do this kind of mentality over and over and over again, kind of builds that confidence from such a young age. You know, I feel like
It is. And when they get here, like just with the athletes that I be training, like they be wanting to do more than actually what they can really do.
Right.
Like they want to push to the next
gotta pull
level.
them back, yeah.
You got to pull that. You gotta pull
That's
those
that's
back.
another thing like that they used to teach us in school when we were teaching kids, is that one of the differences between girls and boys is like supposedly girls behave better in school at first, right? So girls get told all the time, you're so good, you're so well behaved, and their handwriting will be good, right? Like you have good handwriting, so it's all this, you are this. And then boys, they're acting up around there, and the teachers tell them, well, if you would just try, you could do it. If you would just apply yourself, you could do it. If you would accept this challenge, you could do it. And so then there's like a discrepancy sometimes there for girls. That's
like
what they
a
used to tell
mentality.
us. Yeah, like you either are or you aren't.
that's interesting.
So it's something that coaches have to combat too, with like just getting girls to accept a challenge and to love a challenge.
Man, I mean, now I'm not trying to be biased at all, but I also feel like when I look at a group, or like we've been around this for a few years now. So if I look at a group or I see people training, I'm looking at girls and I'm looking at guys train. I don't know, I always feel like with the girl athletes, I don't know if it's a mental thing, you know, girls are like way more psychological, you know, than guys, but it's like I just gotta try to dig to get just a little bit more effort.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, or maybe or we're used to it. For guys, we're used to a grunt or a facial expression or something to see that the kids are trying hard. But I see a different thing when we train the girls. I don't know, is that me or is that what is? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what
feel
you're
like
saying,
that
for
effort
sure.
level isn't always pushed to the max right off the top.
I agree with that. I think it's hard sometimes to get it out of girls. Sometimes they are giving their effort, but they're just not as external with it, like grunting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're not with that. But
It's tricky.
yeah, it's tricky.
is.
It is tricky.
It
It's
is.
tricky. It's tricky because
tricky.
the girls can do the shutdown thing too sometimes. So yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I feel like once you get in psychologically with the girls, you know, then you can get a little bit more out of them, you know.
Get that
Typical.
dog in 'em.
Typical.
But that's so then that's where I come through and say that's the emotion side. But I don't know if that's really the emotional side. I don't
It's
know.
just a different way of processing, right?
So
So do you train the girls different than you supposed to train the boys? Is that the
are you
what-
supposed to?
Yeah,
I'm not.
You right. I
I'm
don't
not.
train the girls different than I train the boys,
I'm
but
not.
do we need to? Do we need to figure out a better way to reach the female athlete when we're training them to get the most out of it? Like,
Well, yes, in that sense, right? If I'm not, but this is just for every athlete.
program wise, you're saying you don't train
Program
them
is the
different,
same.
right? I'm
Yeah.
talking about
program wise
No.
and
Psychologically.
just psychologically, right? But this goes for both. This can be a male and a male. It just kind of depends on how they receive my criticism or
Okay.
how
Yeah,
they
Some
take
kids
what
need
I
a fire
say.
lit
Yeah.
under them, and some kids don't. You know.
Yeah, so if it's someone that's gonna need some positive reinforcement, cool. If it's someone that I know that I can kind of dig into them a little bit, cool. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say, oh, this is a girl, so I'm not gonna talk the way that I talk just because it's a female.
no, I get it.
Nah, we gonna get that mentality.
Yeah.
You gonna understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get it.
I do want to go back to what he was saying earlier, though. Like, just he said something about girls thinking they're going to get bulky and stuff like that when they're training. That's not a problem in all sports. Sometimes in individual sports like swimming or gymnastics, their coaches have concerns about that, and so I think there's some misconceptions there too.
So what do you mean though? Like, what are the misconceptions with those coaches in swimming? Like, what is?
Well, like swimming, this goes for guys and girls, but sometimes they have concerns about them weightlifting too much, getting their legs too big, and then their legs are going to take up too much oxygen. But some of the swimmers that I have, like from
But if their legs are
weightlifting,
stronger.
from weightlifting, they've gotten stronger. Their backs don't hurt as much. They're not as tired in between races.
Okay.
And so, and plus, when you're an endurance athlete, you have to try really hard to eat enough to gain that much muscle. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a lot. We're talking about now. We're talking about something different. You know, we're talking about gaining weight and getting stronger because it's two different things.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
don't
So
know.
y'all tell us what y'all think. We need y'all to comment. We need your feedback. We want to know, like, is there a difference with the female and the male athletes in the culture? Should the approach be different? Should it be the same? Is it the culture inside the culture? Like, tell us how we can communicate better and change the culture inside of girl sports and letting the girls just go out there and be a dog. Just go be a dog.
Yeah.
Just go and do
Yeah.
what you do.
But hey, make sure y'all subscribe. Hashtag #AssSauceTwins.
Turn your notifications on.
Follow us on IG, Sacrifice Training.
All of that.
Twitter, Sacrifice INC.
Athletes train athletes.
Let's get it.
What will you sacrifice to be great?